J.A. Myerson is with us. He's an independent journalist and contributor to AlterNet and Truthout, and has a piece in The Nation titled OWS, Occupy Wall Street, Without a Space to Occupy Faces Organizational Challenges. J.A., welcome back to the program.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Great to have you with us. jamyerson.com, by the way, myerson.com is the website for your writing. And the Occupy Wall Street movement, this article characterizes it, now in its kind of homeless position, without Zuccotti Park, as frazzled or unraveling or something. You pick the adjective. What's going on?
I think unraveling is strong. I think frazzled is much nearer the mark. I mean, let's just there is a sort of fracturing that has happened between two portions of the occupation, which is to say the people who were occupying the park. That's one group who no longer are, right? Because now they're homeless because the 12th richest man in the country deployed what he calls his army and made them homeless, dispossessed them of all their stuff, their kitchen, their tents, everything.
Did you just say Bloomberg was the 12th richest man in America?
In America, $19.5 billion to his name, which is larger than the GDP of Estonia, which is a European country.
Yeah, I've been to Estonia. It's not an inconsequential country. The northern three of Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia of the Baltic. Is it the Baltic Sea there? I forget. Anyhow, we went all the way up from Poland, all the way up through there on our way to Denmark. I've been there. Yeah. Anyhow.
Yeah, that's right. So he's got more money than that country has, and than the wealth that country's made this last year. And he's got an army. That's what he calls the NYPD, and he sent the NYPD in to take away people's homes, and they did that. So now there's folks who are homeless, and then the other part of the population that is sort of split off from that group because of this action on Bloomberg's behalf and Brookfield's behalf is the sort of activist organizational sector of Occupy Wall Street, which is in 60 Wall Street when it can be, or its office at 50 Broadway. So there are people who are sort of doing the activist organizational part, and there are people who were holding down the park who aren't especially plugged into that sort of part of the occupation, who are now sort of split off from each other geographically, right? Some people are still hanging out in the park, and some people are up in these offices, and when that happens, right, tensions begin to arise. There's been a lot of movement since that article went up. The Housing Committee has gotten through a number of really good measures to find people housing in shelters and in churches and stuff. And, of course, on Saturday, the 3-month anniversary of Occupy Wall Street saw an attempt to reoccupy a different space, an attempt that was ultimately foiled by Trinity Church and the NYPD. But there's a lot of movement around, getting the movement to progress forward while caring for the people who were depending on the movement for sustenance. Some of these people were homeless beforehand. Some of them left their lives to come be part of the movement. Some of them are recent college graduates who, instead of moving back in with their folks or going to, get steady employment and get a place, were living at the occupation, and now they have nowhere to stay.
Right. Now, you mentioned that there is about $1 million in their checking account, and there has to be a debate about how to use that. There are people who are concerned about that. Could they become victims of their own success? Do you expect them to just basically kind of go quiescent over the winter and then maybe come back, with a roar in the spring? Is there a possible change in tactics to, flash mobs or occupy a particular street every day? Or what are the things that are being discussed? What are the options that they have?
I think the $1 million number is overstated. Justin Elliott at Salon recently did I can't remember what the figure he had was, but he did a really good breakdown of Occupy Wall Street's cash on hand and what's available. It's not as big as you'd expect. The donations sort of stop coming in eventually. What I expect is that the winter will be comprised of actions like one a week. We had the Goldman action, and then we had the D17 action. So there's these actions that are always happening, Occupy Our Homes and stuff like that. Continuing to mic check public officials and CEOs at every opportunity.
Yep.
And continuing with foreclosure abuse resistance.
Yep.
And professing solidarity with assorted movements around the world, especially Egypt right now, which is in a very difficult moment.
Yes.
So I think that's essentially what the winter will consist of, right? Constant action. And then in the spring, I think you'll see, as you mentioned a second ago, an explosion of enthusiasm that will see huge numbers of occupations, spiking up all over the place. I just saw a piece yesterday that Occupy San Francisco, that there are all these tiny little micro occupations on all these streets all over the place, 1 tent, 2 tents, that have just sort of spread across the entire city. I think that's a wonderful idea, and I bet it could be replicated really beautifully in New York in the spring.
Yeah, very interesting. Although there is safety in numbers, and well, we'll see. I mean, it's one of those things you just don't know, if we were to look back at the Hoovervilles of the 1930s, there were occupation movements all across the United States. The largest and most famous was in Seattle, where the mayor of that Hooverville, kind of an honorary title actually, a fellow by the name of Jesse Jackson, as a matter of fact, wrote a book about it in 1935. And those occupation movements, in part, led to much of the New Deal. I mean, they just kind of they certainly to the housing reforms that FDR did. And so we'll see how this shakes out. In the minute we have left, Jay, how can the average listener, viewer, person, whatever, support what they're doing?
Oh, I have the
perfect
answer for you, but it doesn't come from me. It comes from Walter Mosley at The Nation. He has this column that he does there, 10 Things You Can Do, and the most recent one was 10 Things You Can Do to Help Occupy Wall Street. I would go and Google Walter Mosley, and Ray Gomez is the other person who publishes it with him, RAEGOMES.
Okay.
10 Things You Can Do to Help Occupy Wall Street.
Is that Walter Mosley, the novelist?
Walter Mosley, the novelist, and who's on the editorial board of The Nation.
I didn't realize he was on the editorial board of The Nation. He was one of our Conversations with the Great Minds conversations sometime back. He's over at conversationswithgreatminds.com. We did a half-hour long-form interview with him. Smart guy, in addition to being a brilliant writer. Okay, J.A. Myerson, jamyerson.com, the website, independent journalist, contributor to AlterNet, Truthout, and The Nation. Thank you, J.A.
Have a good one.
You too.